Hello, my name's Graham, but I may as well be nobody, as it doesn't really matter. What matters is President Trump must be the world's worst leader ever. According to the left, Mao Zedong, Stalin, Pol Pot, Kim Jong-un, Idi Amin, Bin Laden, all far better people to run America and invite into America to stay for asylum than Donald Trump, who they would rather he left America. Someone who's a really American, or as the Australians say, fair dinkum, a fair dinkum and American, like Donald Trump, who has basically kept his promises as much as he can. Well, you can't have that. You can't have a president in America anymore that actually acts for America. You can only have a president, according to the left, that acts against America. And only presidents allowed in a left's mindset and the AI ideology is the ones that allow all the world and the third world to enter America freely and totally flood it with millions and millions and endless billions and millions of non-productive immigration. Because just at a time when machines and robots are going to decimate employment, the left want to bring millions of people, not just into America, but into England and Australia and Europe. In other words, the left works against the Western nations. And it's hard, isn't it, that the left have so much in common with the orders of Mao Zedong, with his re-education program, where if you spoke out of turn or you allowed yourself a bit of freedom in your intellectuality, then you were taken to a re-education camp, or in the case of the Stalin era, Soviet era, you were taken to a gulag to be left to rot and freeze to death or whatever, because you may have had an original thought of your own and not bowed to the wisdom of the authority. And that's exactly what the left are doing. They speak exactly as a collective, with not one person dare speaking from an original context or dare questioning the authoritative speaker. And that's how it works. And that's how the left is basically a dictatorship right now. It says you should need a social license to do this or a social license to do that. And who is it? Who are these people who actually issue here's a permission, your social license to do this or be that or that? In other words, basically the left are insane. So actually, because they can't negotiate anymore, and like democracy is about a negotiation, and Donald Trump wants to put a wall and stop mass immigration into America, which is in for all the benefit of all the people in America. It benefits everyone, because if you to think it's a good thing to let millions and millions of unlimited amount of people in, with all the amount of criminals that let in, and yes, there are already criminals in America, but does not give license to allow other criminals to come in. It does not justify. Every country breeds its own criminals, but that does not justify in any way, shape or form, or even the realm of political correctness, that it should, the equality for criminals, for foreign criminals. The left want equality for foreign criminals to come into the Western country, because we have our own criminals. Now, seems to me the left are into encouraging criminality by encouraging illegal crossing of borders, which is something, that's what they're doing. And Hillary Clinton actually stood for illegal refugees and people that were seeking asylum, rather than stand for Americans. I wonder why she lost the election. And that Trump stood for Americans. He stood against unfettered immigration and started to do the things he said he would do. The left are holding it against him, because there's power, there's real power in actually keeping your word and being honest and doing what you're saying you're going to do, when if you're in the left, which have no power, because that's why they speak as a collective, dare not say anything against the authority, which to them is the UN, which is then dominated by Islam, or the IPCC, which is some other nefarious body that dominates the world about climate change. As if, and Trump was quite right to withdraw from Paris, because what Paris Agreement says is that you've got no sovereign right over your own intellectual property. Now, in other words, they want the people who are not non-inventive people, the non-creative people in the world, want to steal have the right, intrinsic right to steal the intellectual property of the creative people of the world. And how the left can go along with this, that the left is attacking the creative, inventive means to increase production, when the left is all about, supposed to be socialism, is supposed to be about distributing the proceeds of production, but they're into limiting it, or distributing the intellectual property itself, rather than give ownership to those who have it. Because other people in the world are not allowed to, because the other people are like the left, are not allowed to have original thoughts. It's very difficult for them then to, if you like, generate new ideas and create new ways of being and invent solutions to their problems. So this is a warning to America. You stand by Donald Trump with all your might. You stand up to this left, not with violence, peacefully, by explaining why, what for and how. Never get into violence, because that's what these people want. The left are extremely violent. They're owned by neo-Nazis, they're owned by the far right, they're owned by Marxists, they're owned by Islam. When they use their word Nazis, the left, you can be sure, are financed by the far right. Far right, or the elite, or whatever. You can be sure. What is George Soros? Not the far right? Trying to destroy the West out of some ill-tempered past ideology that couldn't get its way in the 40s, now wants its way through propagating, through destroying democracy, by infiltrating the left, by owning the left. So the left is no longer a Western democratic political party or system. It's now one what works against it from within, using democracy. This is a warning. Don't vote these people, and again, do not encourage them, do not give them any more rope. Donald Trump's by far and away the best president I've seen America ever have. God bless him.